YouTube channel. Today we're to transfer my Begonia propagations that are in sphagnum moss into a soil medium. So the soil medium that I'm using, it's the one I use in my current videos. It's the Mayer soil mix. It's very It has a very chunky mix with some perlite and microorganisms in it. I found it personally to be just my best go-to. I also purchase it from a local plant shop. That's where I get it from. And I am also the propagations from sphagnum moss into soil, and I'm going to be potting them into 3 different types of pots. So I'll have a plastic pot, a terracotta pot, and then also a glazed pot as well. Personally, these are the types of pots that I've used, and for my begonias, I like using the little bonsai pots because of the way it's stout, and the begonia will just sprout out from there, and it looks really nice, and it's simple. Like it's all it needs. The begonia itself is pretty showy, so I feel like putting them in a more extravagant vase, in a more extravagant pot, it competes with the begonia. That's just me. So let's get started. So a quick tip: if you have soil medium that is a little bit moist and you want to still use that, just add a little bit more perlite to it, and that should help out with the moisture retaining around the soil. The perlite will help maintain a bit of a balance to it. So it's what I found out that works with my propagations. And there you have it. So that's what I do. And then I don't water it for about 2 days, or until I see that it's noticeably dry on the soil. Okay, so I don't use the sphagnum moss with the soil, so I try to take it out carefully. So I try to take it out carefully out of from the sphagnum moss into from that. And as you can see those little white roots on there. And then just remove the excess sphagnum moss. I heard of people use the sphagnum moss in there when they transfer it into soil. I haven't used that, so I'm not going to. Begonias have very delicate roots, so I'm like gently removing the sphagnum moss. I find it easier for myself to remove the sphagnum moss from your begonia when it's a little bit on the more moist side. So that's just me. These are very delicate, so just be very careful. And there you have it. So this one's going in terracotta, this little guy. I have my chopstick here to make a little hole. some in there. And then like gently just put the little soil around it. So as you see the little begonias emerging from the original leaf, and then we're just gonna water around it. This one has like this really long one in here. If y'all can see that. So we're gonna take that out. I don't know how. Figure that out. Squishing here. Being so gentle here. I'm scared I'm gonna like rip it off or something, but here it is. This one is going into the plastic container. So I'm using this chopstick to maneuver like the soil into on top of the begonia, the stem. And I like that this has like little bark pieces in it, because it's really helpful for this moment, because I get to hold on to that little bark and then just push down on it so that we're not damaging the stem or any like fine roots that are around it. I'm actually really surprised this leaf has not like shriveled up and died. Usually they just shrivel up and die. That's just what happens. They rebirth themselves. I really do hope this little wonky guy kind of maneuvers himself this way. I'll top dress him, and maybe that dressing will just help. And then with my finger, I'm just ensuring I can press down around it. That way the soil is pressured onto the propagation itself, like that. These are so pretty. I don't know, like I like these from they're just really pretty. I know they're just like the Rex Begonias, but I think they're gorgeous. I like sometimes putting them in plastic pots because I get to also use like cash pose. Just like stick them in there and just let them hang. I'm just gonna add a little bit of perlite for extra drainage. And then maneuver them around. Now a little hole for him. And this big guy gets in there. I'm pretty sure it could just thrive in here, but I don't feel like it would be all the right nutrients. It's not an orchid. Set back up. Okay. Alright. There's so little, I can see little stems, the new growth out of it. You have it. I think that looks really adorable. So, watering is going to be very different for all three of them. Let's move that out the way first. So watering is going to be very different for all three of them, right? So you have one in terracotta pot, that's going to be very porous. So watering can be done on a more regular basis. You have one in a plastic pot, but with reminder also that it was already in a wet soil mixture. So give it some time to acclimate into its environment, so that way you don't overwater it or stress the plant. And then also the glazed planter. This would be an ideal. For me, it's ideal because I don't have to water it as much, and I know that it's going to be able to retain the moisture of the moisture and also the water better. It's not like terracotta is very porous because the material is clay, but is a glazed planter, so the water is retained better in this. So it always goes down to like your personal taste, but also how are your watering habits, and do you want to challenge yourself on your watering habits? Like I think that's just the only way that I understood it. That's just like the best way I could have understood it, is because I challenged myself in the types of watering conditions and seeing how I can better myself in it for myself, and I'm glad I did, because now I can experiment with cash pose and glazed planters, and then also get to explain with people on how to water their plants a little bit better. I think that's one thing that everybody really struggles with. But just take your time on it sometimes, and then just see how it goes, and eventually it will happen, because just like the Begonia, just a little bit of patience and you'll be able to understand things and do things a little bit better as well. Alright. Y'all have a great day. I hope this was a fun and also an informative video for you all. And if you have any questions or anything like that, just leave a comment down below and I'll get to it. Y'all have a wonderful day. Be safe out there. Peace.